Thank you, listeners, for joining us for another Wellness Wednesday episode brought to you by Vitality Unlimited Programs. The VIPs, our integrated programs, are a perfect example of the community-certified behavioral health clinic that is now sweeping the nation, that, of course, was pioneered right here in our community. We're so pleased to have the CEO and COO of Vitality Unlimited, Ester Quilici, is joining us in studio, and Marianne McKown is here, and she is the Public Affairs Officer, Marketing and Outreach Director for this organization, right, Marianne?
Yeah, the Outreach and Partnership Development Coordinator.
Thank you. Well, whatever needs doing, Marianne will do it. That is the important thing.
That's right. Nice to be here today.
Thank you so much, Esther. We want to, of course, bring listeners up to date with any new developments on this Wednesday program about our CCBHCs, but these partnerships are really proving beneficial, aren't they?
They have. We went from 8 demonstration states and 3 demonstration projects in Nevada to 450 CCBHCs throughout the country. Why? Because it's a concept that works.
It's really streamlining the process for people who need help the most.
Well, and I think it's a concept that it's the whole person that's viewed, not just a segment of the person. I mean, we address primary care, we address the behavioral health issues, which is mental health, substance abuse disorders, and general well-being. And so it's all contained within the clinic, and also the wraparounds. And that's the new concept, I think, added to mental health services would be the wraparounds that would aid people, connecting them to services and peer support services, case management services. Those are the wraparounds that people are now benefiting by.
And so when someone goes in for help, for treatment, or a family member seeks help, they're going to get that wraparound service you just described. And it might start with actually a physical assessment. It
would definitely start with an assessment. And we're looking now to have another provider that in the clinic that would do primary care, and we do have medication-assisted treatment. We have the full, complete behavioral health services.
And that, of course, is available right here in our community with Vitality Unlimited. Of course, the growth with the CCBHC. And, of course, many, many hardworking professionals have made this possible. And I know you're quick to credit those people, Esther. You're very generous in that.
Well, it's a good team. And I think that we just hang in there with a good team. And I think that that's been such a blessing to the community and to Vitality.
You spoke to City Council earlier this year, Esther, and I think some of the council members were surprised but appreciated knowing that there is still considerable drug use in the community, and that type of behavior might be used to actually mask some undiagnosed mental illness.
Well, I think people have a tendency, even with alcohol, to self-medicate. And there is a stealth drug that is so powerful now and deadly, and that's fentanyl. For whatever reason now, they're just lacing so much of what's been out on the street with fentanyl. And fentanyl is very powerful and very lethal. And even though that you have the antidotes out there, sometimes it's not enough. You can't administer it fast enough. And there is a perception that, oh, well, they'll just bring me back if I OD. And that's not necessarily the case. And you can't count on it, and you shouldn't count on it if you're in that lifestyle. It's a very, very difficult situation to be in.
So using drugs recreationally, that it could be a warning sign. Is that someone should seek treatment, or a loved one, a caregiver, a parent should be concerned, Esther?
Of course. And I think that, with drug use, you get some mental health problems. And, it's depression, it's anxiety, it's someone is not themselves. Is it to mask the symptoms, or does it create symptoms? Both. It masks and creates. And I think drug use has it's horrible side effects, but you're right about the fact that if it's drug use, they should look at the mental health issues that may be in the mix.
So the best way to access treatment, and we're going to be talking more too about the new mobile therapy van, which is actually coming to neighborhoods and shopping centers and places of business. But the best way to get more information might be to call Vitality, would you say, Esther,
Yes.
to speak to a professional?
Sure. 777
8477.
8477. I was going to let Marianne finish it.
That's okay. 775-777-8477. And that is where you can find professionals, caring people on the other end to answer your questions, even if you're the loved one, the caregiver, the person who wants to know if this is a warning sign, right?
Of course.
All right.
Yeah, that's right.
CCBHCs have bonded together with partnerships with law enforcement, primary care, schools, and even large health systems to deliver care outside the traditional walls. And I know that that's something, Esther, that you're really proud of, that you go to where people are. This is care without walls, if you want to describe that.
Right. It's a practice without walls. I'm glad you brought that up because I think, therapy can happen anywhere. And for some, they have an aversion of coming into an office, or they're homeless, or they are so I guess their mental health problems cause them such confusion that if they can't come to us, we can keep track of them and we can go to them.
And that is indeed what is happening with the new mobile therapy van, which has been visiting various locations in the community. And I know Marianne McKown's going to fill us in on that. Esther, before we transition over to Marianne, I know you wanted to just kind of reach out to parents and to students to remind them that mental health help is important if you are stressed, if you are feeling bullied, if there are any number of issues as you head back to school.
That's right. This is the time of year. I mean, some schools have already gone back into session. Ours is soon to go back into session. For some kids, it's great. They look forward to it. And I think for others, they have some reluctance, school-based problems, or they're concerned about how they're going to fit in. I think that we need to be aware of that. I know that this year there's going to be a different schedule, so parents are probably going to have to figure that one out. It's going to put another stressor on the family. I can't see that, it will be they'll figure it out, but I think it's important that we know that, that they know that we're here. We can help. They can call us. It's all anonymous. And if the kids need to have us come to them, we can, or they can come in to us. I think we're getting a lot more interest from teenagers for our services because they know it's out there and they know it's helpful.
And they're helping each other and they're talking about it.
Yes.
That's the thing. We're normalizing
right.
mental health.
I think, isn't that a good point that you made, that we're normalizing it? You're not abnormal. It is a normal thing to cope with. If you have to cope with it, you need to find help.
And you could be of any age, of any experience, any background, and at any time, and it may not endure. It may just be temporary.
That's right, transitory. That's right. It could just be a temporary situation, anxiety, maybe a little bit of depression.
Yeah, and you can get great tips on how to get through that.
Yes. Good
Esther,
point.
yeah, thank
you, Lori.
Absolutely. Thank you, Esther Quilici, who is the Vitality Unlimited CEO and COO. Wellness Wednesday is brought to you by Vitality Unlimited, the VIPs in our community, providing certified community behavioral health with wraparound services, something the staff is really proud to do. And now, of course, the services are coming to your neighborhood or your community, hopefully soon, but within the city of Elko. Marianne McKown is here, and she is helping with this vital outreach. So if someone sees this big van parked in front of one of the numerous locations you described, it's the Vitality Mobile Therapy Van. And what might they expect if they're feeling a little intimidated or unsure, right?
Well, we've had a lot of people come up and just ask, what is this? And we can give them the spiel of what it is. Basically, our mobile therapy van allows our staff to provide all the same services that we provide in our clinic. We have the ability, we can even take vitals right in the van, so that way we can make sure that somebody's okay. We had, the first couple of times we went to the Oka Senior Center, we had some of the people there say, my blood pressure has been up lately, and can you take, check me out? And we said, absolutely. And we went inside to get to them to be able to provide that service. I've had people that they do an intake right then and there. It eliminates one of the appointments that you need if you think you need some therapy or some other services from us. We also have the ability, because the van has its own Wi-Fi, we can set up appointments. So we've had people come talk to us, these are the services that we can provide, and they say, I would love to have an appointment. Well, our staff can open up their laptop, and right then and there they can set an appointment, so you don't have to remember to call later. The other thing, we have some of our clients that get food baskets from fish, and our staff picks it up and then takes it to them. We've been able to use the van for that and do some home visits with the van. So it's been wonderful.
Oh, that is fantastic. And so it sounds like you can really just drop by and say, hey, I'm not feeling myself. Or sometimes I've seen the staff, I've just walked by, you guys are so friendly, but you just say, hey, well, are you okay, right? Sometimes it helps just to have someone kind of check in on you, Marianne.
Absolutely. I've been at plenty of events where I'm just, hey, how are you today? Or I have kids come up to me, and we have different pamphlets and information available. And one of our things is Stop the Stigma. And I've had some of the younger generation ask, what does that word stigma mean? And being able to tell them that it's okay to ask for help when you are having mental health issues, and that mental health issues don't necessarily have to be permanent. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have a mental illness. If you are alive and breathing, you can have a mental health issue, because everybody in this life has stress of some kind, and that can cause difficulties.
We're talking with Marianne McKown from Vitality Integrated Programs, the VIPs, about your mental health. And if you have questions, 775-777-8477 is the number to call.